What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? BizzyDad here, you there, and we are back with the next round of spoilers for Force of Will's Curse of the Frozen Casket. We are going back to light. Now, if you remember earlier this week, there was a light spoiler from Force of Will, but it was not from this set. It was from the new Lapis Cluster starter decks that they're putting out as well. So this is not the same. These are different cards. These are not going to be in the starter deck. This is going to be in the new set itself, but the cards will be able to work hand in hand with each other. So it's a good way to just get extra cards. If you're going to buy the starter decks, you are going to get cards that are pretty much different from Curse of the Frozen Casket. Again, I don't know if they're going to sprinkle them all throughout the cluster, but more details, of course, as that becomes available. Right now, we're not worried about that. Let's see what Light has to offer in the set, and we are checking out a really familiar face if you've been playing Force of Will for a while. The ruler for Light is 0, 6 Sage of Light. So 0 in the old Grim clusters was a Resonator, a 6 Sage, Light and Dark at one point, but here she is. She's done it. She's now a ruler. The big promotion, a judgment cost of just 2, so that's not bad at all. And there's the Energize again. For 1 light, you get the token. If you go second, if you're the player that goes second, you'll get a token to produce a will, 1 light will at any time during the game. So good way to even it up. There's also an ability here for 1 light. Target Resonator gains +1/+1 until the end of turn. So, I mean, nothing spectacular, but if you have a spare stone in that sequence right before your recovery phase, why not give one of your Resonators +100? Why not? And here's another ability for a Dark. Target J Resonator loses Flying, First Strike, Swiftness, Precision, and Imperishable until the end of turn. So this is a little bit of throwback to the old 0, who was a Light and Dark Resonator. They gave her a Dark ability here as well. So if you are running mostly Light, it's going to be almost impossible to pull that ability off. So you'll have to run a little Dark or some sort of card that makes you have access to the Dark to do that. So let's J activate. Let's pay the 2 light, and she will flip over to 0, Master of the Magic Saber. So right off the bat, you see 1100 attack and defense. That is really strong. And look, she has precision. So that is the new target attack. They're just calling it precision. And look at this ability. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to this card while it is battling. So really just right off the bat, this card 0 is built to judge quick, flip over for the 2, have the big stats, and then just start swinging away. And she can't be she can't be damaged while she's battling. So what a great perk. And guys, really, this is the piece de resistance for 0. Look at this ability. J Resonators your opponent controls lose and cannot gain Flying, First Strike, Swiftness, Precision, and Imperishable. And this just isn't till the end of the turn or something you have to pay for. This is constant. So they lose all those symbol skills and they can't get it back. 0 is a powerhouse. And just keeping with the spoiler tradition, I guess, for this new set, is all the cards are just like really strong. These are just really powerful. 0 is going to be a pain, that is for sure. But let's check out some of her support. Here is 0's Familiar, a 2-drop Beast Resonator. So 1 light and 1 other to play, 500 attack, 500 defense, and it flies. So pretty good right there. Your J Ruler gains Barrier. And it says that cards you control with Barrier cannot be targeted by spells or abilities your opponent controls. So if we can just go back to 0's J Ruler side for a second, this is where 0's Familiar is going to be just a rock star and a must-have in the deck. Because while 0 can't be damaged while she's battling, she is going to be a prime target for cards like Black Moonbeam and other Final Forfeit, other cards that are just going to strip her abilities, or just going to destroy her outright. But if we see Zero's familiar here, if you have this little guy on the field, your J Ruler gains barrier, so Zero can't be targeted by those spells or abilities. So it just, like I said, a must-have. If you're going to play this Zero, you're going to be putting the little bird, the little owl out there. This card also gains +3/+3 as long as you control Zero, Master of the Magic Saber. So again, just another reason to have this a must-have and a combo with Zero. Is going to be an 800 flyer, just really strong, and like I said, a must-have. Here's Safeguard of the Light Palace, a 3-drop human resonator, 1 light and 2 to play, 700 attack and defense. When this card enters your field, destroy target addition. So this is pretty good because you are going to be up against players who play additions, never mind barrier shadows, which will still be around, causing you to pay more for activate abilities and stuff like that. So great to have a card that just comes in and says, hey, get this addition out of here. So good card. Also for 1 light, this card gains 0 attack plus 200 defense until end of turn. So a little bit of protection there. Here's Zero's Magic Light, a quick cast chant. I want to start saying the terminology right. So this could be cast at any time, 2 light. And if your J Ruler is 0, 6 Sage of Light, or 0, Master of the Magic Saber, you may pay 1 less to play this card. So if you have 0, it's going to cost you 1 instead of 2. And here's the result of the chant. Remove target attacking or blocking resonator from the game. So really great removal. Somebody attacks you, somebody declares an attack, you throw this down for 1 and you just remove them from the game. And because this is such a game of wording, I want to stress how big that is, because a lot of cards, when they hit the graveyard, sometimes there's an ability when this resonator goes into your graveyard from your field, you gain 1,000 life, or destroy a resonator, or something happens. But this is saying, no, you're removing it from the game. You're gone, buddy. This is not going to the graveyard. You're not hitting any abilities with it. So really great card, and just for 1 is even better. By the way, if I don't have 0 and I'm playing a light deck, I might just throw this in there anyway. Maybe a sideboard or a main deck for 2 light. Pretty strong card, and it could be cast at any time. So whether they're attacking or blocking, if they're a pain, you can get them out of the game. Here is Pandora, the Hope Weaving Queen, a 2-drop human resonator, another character coming back, 200 attack, 1,000 defense. If you would roll 1 or more dice using force, roll that many dice plus 1 instead. So here we go, guys. If anybody was wondering how dynamic, I guess, the dice mechanic is going to be, it is going to be very dynamic, and here's just another reason why. So we've seen some cards where you have the force ability. You take 1 die or 2 dice and you roll it, and then that's how many counters you get, or you get +1/+1 for each number on your roll. Pandora is going to let you add an extra die, to that roll. So just a really strong card. And the 1,000 defense means that she's going to be around for a little bit, especially a 2-drop. You get that going early in the game. Tough to take out 1,000. Here's Pandora's Mark of Hope, a 1-drop addition, and it says bestowed resonator gains +4/+4. So great way to pump up one of your resonators. Now it says when a bestowed resonator is put into a graveyard from your field, force 1, roll a die. You gain 200 life multiplied by the result of that roll. So you put this on one of your resonators, they get killed, they go to the graveyard, and you get to roll a die and gain 200 life times whatever you roll. And this also explains the bestow cost. 1 light and rest. Bestow this card to target resonator. Play this ability only if this card is not bestowed to a card, and only anytime you could play a chant. So let me also point out that when you play additions now in the Lapis Cluster, they don't automatically get put right on a resonator. they go into the field. And then you have to pay that bestow cost. You pay the bestow cost of 1 light and rest it to then attach it to a resonator. And also, while we're at it, if you have an addition on a resonator and the resonator goes to the graveyard, the addition does not. The addition goes back onto the field unbestowed, and then you could pay the cost again and put it on another resonator. I saw that on the Force of Will TCG site. So if I'm speaking out of line, somebody correct me, but that's what I read, and that's what I'm passing along to you. Here's the Storytelling Bard, a 1-drop human resonator, 300, and you rest it to gain 200 life. So definitely not a battlefield beast, but hey, you know, draw a card and that sequence right before recover, rest it, gain 200 life, not bad. Here is the Pumpkin Carriage. Of any of those who have been playing, who have run into the Pumpkin Witch before, this will look pretty familiar to you. A 3-drop resonator, 2 light and 1 other, 200 attack, 1200 defense. If you rest it, a target fairy tale resonator gains +2/+12 until end of turn. That does not look like a typo. +200 attack and +1200 defense. So what a really big way to just buff up one of your fairy tale resonators. And I can just see the white-green combo salivating right now to rest the Pumpkin Carriage, give somebody +2/+12, and then throw out that good old heart-stirring Sage to then have the attack equal the defense. Oh, all right, the wheels are turning already. So not bad. 200 and 1200 defense, another card that's going to be tough to get off the field as is. So guys, that is it. Not a whole lot of spoilers today, but the cards we saw were really strong. Here's one more look at Zero staring at us, asking us what our problem is. Nothing yet, Zero, but don't worry. We're going to be seeing a lot more of you, I'm sure. Guys, tell me what you think. You liking it? You're not liking it? Leave a comment below. The comments have been great lately. Thanks again. Also, the likes, the shares, the subscribes. We got more videos coming. Don't you worry. So guys, as always, thanks for a few minutes, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.